welcome to another Smackdown review. I am your host, Alex, and we just witnessed a really good go-home show right before Survivor Series. Really good episode. I'm looking forward to Survivor Series, so let's just jump into it. So before we get to the opening credits of the show, we start with the Smackdown roster around the garage gate leading into the arena, and Baron Corbin is trying to get their attention. The Smackdown roster is just talking, and unfortunately, no one respects Baron Corbin, so no one's listening to him. But luckily, Roman Reigns comes in and everyone stops talking because it's Roman Reigns, of course. The locker room respects him more than Baron Corbin. Roman Reigns opens up the gates and invites Raw and NXT to come in to whip their ass. And of course, Baron Corbin thinks that's a stupid idea. And they start bickering, then the Smackdown roster starts bickering, then Sasha gets in between them, and I loved that the captain of the women's Smackdown team got in between them and said, listen, don't worry, the ladies got this, we got this, we're not gonna have any of these jabrones try to kick our ass. Opening credits, we open up the show with the women and Sasha's new theme song. It is such a banger. It's really good. But Sasha gets into the ring. She says that she's not gonna have anybody kick their ass anymore and sneak up from behind them, so she invites Team Raw to come out. Team Raw comes out, Charlotte comes out. Charlotte says, hey, you know what, Sasha, for old time's sake, let's, one-on-one, you and me. Cut to NXT, coming out from the crowd, Rhea Ripley says, why don't we just do captain versus captain versus captain, which was such a good idea, Rhea Ripley. That was a great idea. Let's turn it into a triple threat. And so we did. It was a really good match. At one point, Charlotte throws Sasha into Nikki Cross, and of course, Nikki Cross and Sasha Banks kind of have this little feud going on. Sasha tells Nikki to get out of her way, stay out of her way. Then Rhea comes from behind Sasha and then attacks Sasha, and then Charlotte comes out with a moonsault. It was great. There was really good tension throughout this whole match with the captains interfering with the other teams, but also feuds happening within the teams. It was really, really good, but let's talk about the last thing that happened in that match, the end of that match. So Charlotte gets Sasha in the figure 8, and Rhea Ripley comes out of nowhere and pins Charlotte while she bridged the figure 8 and still has Sasha in the figure 8 and gets the win. That was the most creative ending. That was the most exciting ending, and so well deserved for Rhea Ripley. Absolutely huge, but not only for Rhea Ripley, for the NXT women's team. It was such a good ending to that match. It was chef's kiss. Amazing. Next up, we have Shinsuke and Sami Zayn out in the ring, and Sami has something in his bag, and it's actually a new design for the Intercontinental Championship. And how do we feel about this new design? Me personally, I am not a fan. I feel like there should be like a color break or something else in the middle, because they have that same emblem in the middle that they have in the 205 Live title, and I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. It looks like the Cruiserweight Championship, so it also kind of looks like the AEW Championship a little bit, maybe. I don't know, maybe I'm just thinking about that weird, but I'm not a fan. But Roderick Strong comes out with Undisputed Era, and Sami Zayn and Shinsuke Nakamura just get out of the ring. Adam Cole gets on the mic and does what he does best and cuts a great promo. Just a little tiny promo saying that, Undisputed Era is the best and they could wash their asses on the floor, which is kind of true. But then the New Day comes out, and that was cool. I like the New Day. It was very exciting because it's like New Day and Undisputed Era, two of the best tag teams in WWE. Really good to see them working together. And they challenge Undisputed Era, but I thought they were going to challenge Undisputed Era and have Shinsuke and Sami come and fight them, right? Let's have New Day team up with Shinsuke Nakamura and Sami and fight Undisputed Era. No, let's just have Heavy Machinery come out. And good on Heavy Machinery to work with New Day and Undisputed Era, two of the best tag teams in the WWE, like I said before, and they probably need the push, but isn't it weird to have Heavy Machinery come out instead of just having Shinsuke and Sami Zayn participate in the match? And it was even weirder because they were watching from the ramp the whole time. Sami Zayn and Shinsuke Nakamura were watching the match from the ramp the whole time. For some reason, it took it out of me. Like, I just wasn't really into the match anymore because of that. It was an alright match from what I was watching, and then at one point, Otis and Big E were feuding with each other, so there was a rift there, but Undisputed Era got the win. Roderick Strong runs up to Shinsuke Nakamura and gets in his face, but then AJ Styles comes out and jumps the both of them. It was good. That was pretty good. But, I mean, it was still, I don't know. For some reason, the fact that Shinsuke and Sami didn't participate in that match, but they were still standing there, which I get at the end with, like, Roderick coming out and then AJ coming out, and then you get hyped for their match for Survivor Series. It just, wouldn't it make sense to have Shinsuke fight and have a match with the person that he's going? I guess that's not really part of his gimmick. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. That was weird. That was weird, right? Just me? Probably just me. Next, Daniel Bryan comes out and he cuts a promo on Bray Wyatt, but that doesn't matter because the lights go out and you think, oh, is the Fiend coming out? Is Bray Wyatt going to come out and attack Daniel Bryan? Nope. Nobody is in the ring. It's all just mind games. The Miz comes out and says that he actually can't wait to see the Fiend tear him apart, and he needs to slap some sense into Daniel Bryan, in which he does. He slaps Daniel Bryan, and we get the Miz versus Daniel Bryan, which was actually pretty refreshing because I didn't want to see Team Raw versus Team NXT versus Team Smackdown all night, so it was nice to get a break from that, and also to see the Miz versus Daniel Bryan. I mean, their history together, I absolutely love. At one point, Daniel Bryan is standing across the ring from the Miz, corner to corner, and he seems like he wants to throw those bad boys up. He wants to start that yes chant, and he's warming it up, and it seems like he's getting there, and then lights cut down. In the Fiend style, they cut down completely, and the Fiend replaces the Miz from across the ring. And it's such a good visual. It's such, the Fiend across the ring, just in the same position the Miz was, with the red light. It's such a good visual. The Fiend is the absolute best thing that's happening in the men's roster right now. It's so good. Next, we have a pretty quick segment with Shayna Baszler and Bayley. Shayna Baszler comes out and says, I'm here in your ring, Bayley. You said earlier tonight that I've been jumping you from behind. Well, I'm right here. Come at me. She takes off her leather jacket. She takes off her title. And then Bayley jumps her from behind. And Bayley beats Shayna to her own game, like Corey Graves said. And they brawl. And that was really it. You know, I thought this segment probably should have closed out the show because I feel like I would really like to see this main event Survivor Series, and this has had a better build going towards this match than any other match on the card. So I thought they should have closed out, but considering the fact that Becky didn't come out during this segment, that's probably why they didn't close out the show. Still got me excited for their match for Survivor Series, so yeah, good job. And last but not least, the main event, which made absolutely no damn sense to me. I don't know if it did for you, but it did not make any sense to me. It was Baron Corbin, Ziggler, and Bobby Roode, Robert Roode, whatever we're calling him these days, versus Roman Reigns, Ali, hometown hero, and Shorty G. They're a team. Why are they fighting each other? Like, I get that they've had a feud with each other before this whole Survivor Series and NXT coming in mess was going on. Why would you try to look weak when there's people coming into your turf, when there's people coming into your territory like Raw and NXT, and they're attacking your whole roster. Baron Corbin gets the win, but this SmackDown team is a mess. I don't see how they're going to survive on Sunday. Seth Rollins' music hits. He comes with Team Raw from the crowd. I thought it was interesting that it took until Seth Rollins to come out for CM Punk chants to start in Chicago. Very interesting there, Chicago. But Team Raw comes out. Braun Strowman comes out with the rest of Team SmackDown and they attack Raw, but then NXT comes in the most badass way with Road Dogg, Triple H, and Shawn Michaels invading SmackDown just like DX did back in 1998 when they were invading WCW. They came out in a truck, not really a truck, it was more like a Jeep. Yeah, it was more like a Jeep. So it wasn't like completely badass, but it was still badass because they came out in a Jeep. Lio Rush is in the front. It's Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Road Dogg, Keith Lee behind Shawn Michaels, Tommaso Ciampa behind Triple H, and all of the NXT men's roster. We've got Pete Dunne, we've got Walter, we've got Undisputed Era, so many others. There were so many men in the ring. There were so many men that came out and just beat the living crap out of each other. And at the end, we saw Braun Strowman and Keith Lee in the middle of the ring. And man, that match would be great. Can we get that match soon? We close out the Go Home show with Team NXT, Team Raw, and Team SmackDown brawling in a full-blown war. And this was a good episode of SmackDown. It did get me very excited for Survivor Series. It got me even more excited for War Games. And there is just a big difference between the NXT talent and the main roster talent. And I hate to say it as someone who reviews SmackDown, but I think NXT is gonna come out strong out of Survivor Series. But what do you guys think? Do you think it's going to be Team NXT, Team Raw, or Team SmackDown to take it home for Survivor Series? What did you like about SmackDown tonight? What was your favorite thing about the episode? My pro is the women at first. They were really good. And NXT, all of them, all around. Undisputed Era, Rhea Ripley getting those wins was very huge for NXT. My one con is probably that 6-man tag main event. That just didn't make any sense to me. Why would you feud with each other when you're supposed to be teaming up and feuding with Raw NXT? And you opened the door. You invited them to come in. It's like, hey, come watch us fight because we can't get our crap together. So that was weird. If I were to give this SmackDown episode a grade, it would probably be a C+. Overall, it did get me excited for Survivor Series, but there was little things here and there that was just But are you watching Survivor Series this weekend? Let us know in the comments below and give this video a thumbs up if you like it, and of course subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notifications every time you want to watch any of our reviews here at Wrestling with Regret. My name is Alex, your self-proclaimed Queen of the Ring, and I will see you guys next week for another SmackDown review. Bye guys!